Alright, I see it. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Or at least if you're an Aussie, it's a good morning. It's currently 7 in the morning on a Saturday. And I thought that we'd go for a little bit of a different idea to usual and do a live stream. It's been quite a while since we did a live stream. So, yeah, hopefully this will be an interesting series. So, episode 1, we're just going to have a quick look at Opal Auctions and just basically get familiar with the site, gauge the market, see what everything's up to. I'll check out comments because there's already a few people in. Oh, look at that. We've got 11 likes and already 1 dislike before I even started. Perfect. So Matt, if you've got anything interesting, by all means, send it through to my email or on Facebook or however you can get in touch. So send that through. Good morning, everyone. Not quite my first live stream, but the first I've done for quite a long time now. Alright, so we've got a few people here. Good morning, good morning. Anyway, this is Opal Auctions. This is the homepage kind of thing. I've just used a browser that I don't normally use, so Microsoft Edge, so it's not going to pop up any of my information or anything. I'm not logged in, so this is literally what anyone would see without an account. And yeah, so Opal Auctions, look at the categories of this place. I mean, it's just the eBay for Opal basically. It breaks down into different countries of origin, different types of Opal. It's literally got everything though. I mean, some things, like it's even just got equipment style stuff. There you go. So maybe I should chuck on sintered burrs here when I can finally get a reliable stock. But anyway, what we are mainly interested in is rough opal. We're all about that rough opal. So even within rough opal, you can narrow it down heaps. And there's further options down here. So if you've got a price range, all of us have a budget. So price range, minimum, maximum, everything on the site is in US dollars. Which means it runs off that US system where you buy something and then they lump on an extra 10% or whatever for tax purposes and whatnot. So GST stuff is not included in these prices you see just here. So keep that in mind when you're buying something. There's some nice auctions ending soon. Well, I don't think I'll buy anything this morning, but you never know. There's always nice auctions ending here. That's the problem. Got to go for the black seam from the ridge. Oh, so post lunchtime in Bangladesh. Very interesting. Nice. Got some people from the US, some from the UK. Beautiful. Anyway, let's have a look. Alright, let's have a look at Lightning Ridge. Just because someone suggested it. If anyone wants to look at anything in particular, just post it up in the comments. I'll have a quick scan over there, and I think I've got it over here as well. Bloody hell, so many computers going. So even when we go to Lightning Ridge, you can then narrow that down just to rubs or just these really broad categories. I mean, let's have a look at some. No, let's do it even better. Let's go from high to low and get some incredible rough chunks. Yeah, I see investment opals a lot. They do have a lot of really high end stuff. I mean, I don't know how I feel still about Opal Auctions doing this. I'll open this one as an example. Incredible stone. I mean, look at that. Straw chaff patterns. It's still fairly rough. A lot of work to do on it. 17 carats, so it's a fairly big chunk. Really nice. This is what I don't really like. The fact that it has a price of 50% off. But I reckon this is more like the full price, and people can just list it as $32,000 and then just say, oh yeah, it's 45% off, and there you go. I see that a lot on this site, which I'm not overly keen on, but it is what it is. Anything else stand out in particular? Not really. Let's go a little bit more realistic. Time left. Who knows, someone might see something they like and they can jump on and snag it. Dreamtime Opals, I think I've got in touch with them. They have some really nice rubs a lot of the time. I mean, look at some of those. They're incredible. 21 carats. Not bad. Some crystal opal. Yeah, going through Facebook is fun. This is nice though, because you don't know any of these people, but the site has a lot of protections in place. They vet a lot of their sellers. So unlike on Facebook, you've got, I don't know, a bit of a less chance of being pretty disappointed. A lot of these guys have strict return policies and all that kind of stuff. Oh, here we go. We can see our friend 53 Frogs. We've got to go check. So if you type 53 Frogs, you get all of his auctions, including the hidden ones. And so, I mean, he's always got stuff like Rough Andamuka that will sell for just a couple bucks. I mean, sure, this one's pretty rough. Untreated. He always states everything here. There he is. Always states everything in pretty good detail. So he'll say whether it's been treated or not treated, all that kind of stuff. So this is just a pure rough piece. He's actually got videos that he talks over as well to explain the piece a bit more. But who knows, that treats black and that red and blue comes through. It's a really nice stone. And currently, there's one bid. Marianne's got it for $1. Very well done. Oh, actually, there's still a couple hours left. She might be in trouble yet. Yeah, opal chips. So, actually, I won't reveal too much, but Riley and I have been talking a lot about this Queensland Boulder matrix that gets treated to this dark colour. We're doing a little bit of experimenting on it, and I don't know, having a PhD in chemistry, I think he's hoping that I can work something out as well. But if a miner can do it, surely we can put our heads together and work it out as well. So we're playing around a bit with Boulder matrix and treating it as best as possible, seeing if we can come up with some better treatment options. So that might be on the channel soon. Yeah, let's have a look at some Boulder. So we'll just go to rough opal. I should show you guys how to price stuff on here as well while we're here. Boulder opal rough. Now Boulder opal rough on Opal Auctions can be a little bit wild. So if I go from high to low, some of these specimen pieces, I mean, some of these look pretty cool. Dinosaur bone. But see, some of these kind of pieces, the likes of Nick Hoops can get you material like this for nowhere near that full price of $10,000, and in fact nowhere near the price of $7,000 US. If you can get Nick a couple $100, you'll be able to snag yourself some really good stones. So Boulder opal on Opal Auctions, I have never bought any, and I just can't bring myself to do it, just because a lot of it is really priced strangely. Like, it's huge sometimes. I mean, these ones are really nice. That's just pure black opal. Yeah, that's when Boulder opal becomes black opal. That body tone is basically black, so really nice. You can get Lightning Ridge that looks like that, and then the pricing becomes more reasonable. So when it's a full face, really black Boulder opal, then their pricing is probably about right. But when it comes to chunks like this, it's really not priced that well. Yeah, I mean, we are skewing it so that we're looking at the high to low. Maybe they're just items that they don't want to sell. We always put on prices way too high on pieces you don't want to sell. But there is still some affordable stuff in there. I mean, that's pretty nice. $600. Looks like a pretty nice ringstone. I still think you could get it better if you know someone in dealing with Boulder Opal on a regular basis. Boulder Opal's not really what I look for in this site. What I do is look for the likes of this. Just so that we can dream, really. I mean, that's... How big is mine? Mine's like 18 carats, so 90 carats is huge. And look at the color in that. Look at that. Now that's an investment opal. So you can see really interesting stuff. Browsing on Opal Auctions is nice because you can see everything, and there's ultra high end that I'm never going to own something like this probably, unless I come across it in a bit of rough somehow. That's a cool setting. I like that. I've seen Pulitzer Opal do a setting like this with some with the shell. I think he did a Cooper Pedy shell that he pinned in place like this. This could be... It doesn't provide a lot of protection to the Bellumnite, but it looks cool. That's a really nice piece to have exposed like that, though. Risky. Risky. Gauging the prices, yeah. So when it comes to actually valuing opal, there's a really good Facebook group that I talk about all the time, the Australian opal pricing and value or something like that. But what you can do is, if you've got, I don't know, let's say a black opal stones, if you go to, where is it? If we go to here and you check out closed items and then show items, you can actually see what things have sold for, and you can narrow down your body tones, you can narrow down your dimensions, all that kind of thing, and you can match your stone to something that's actually sold. I like to use sold pricing. So here we go, all these closed ones. So you can actually use this and say, I don't know, I've got a stone, it's a black opal, it is between 1 and 2 carats. You don't want to go too narrow, otherwise you don't get a lot of options. You can even pick your colors. You can say, oh yeah, it's basically just the blue. Scrap that. 1 and 2 carats, blue, black opal, and we can look through and go, it looks a lot like this one. And then you can see that it sold for $64 with only one bid. Typically it's a bit more competitive than that. That's a nice stone for... Oh, that's a really nice stone for 92 bucks. It's like $50 a carat. Not bad. But yeah, this is a really nice way... I'll probably do a standalone video on it, but this is a really nice way to actually gauge what you've got in your hands. Because if you ask on Facebook, sometimes if people are in the mood for trolling, you will get absolutely trolled to death. Rose Rock's broke. I'm always broke. I've always spent my money. Hi Grant, how's it going? I think you're still my youngest viewer. What's a safer way to set a Bellumnite? Alright, so for Bellumnite, what I'm really interested in doing, if I can get into silversmithing, there is a really good setting I've seen where the piece is actually backed and not bezel set, but kind of clawed around. I think it's actually sold. That's very disappointing. I did save a picture of it. Yeah, I did save a picture at some point, but there is this really nice... So it's got a backbone of silver, and then it's just got claws that wrap around and hug the sides of the Bellumnite. It was really nice. It still doesn't provide a lot of protection, but at least if it does get damaged or whatever, it's not going to completely fall apart and you're just going to lose all the chunks. Ah, I can't find it. Cannot find it. Unfortunate. That's going to make it harder to replicate. I know I saved a picture of it somewhere though. But yeah, it's a really nice setting, and I'm definitely going to look into trying to do it and replicating it, because it was real good. But anyway, let's have a look at... So the other good thing that I use Opal Auctions for is for your international opals. I mean, I can get Australian opal all day, any day, really easily. But things like Brazilian opal, I'm still on the hunt. And I see amazing things on here. And this is how I'm building up my collection. You can get opal from all over the world on Opal Auctions. It's incredibly good. That picture's a bit overexposed, but it is what it is. Yeah, so it's only $12 shipping. And I like to visit the stores and see if that's all they sell, like whether it's just Brazilian opal or whether they sell a whole heap of other stuff, because Cedar, they sell a whole heap of stuff from all over the world, and that's how I get a lot of really nice stuff. So if we go I don't know, somewhere over here, and just have a quick scan. Alright, he doesn't sell a lot of that. So yeah, say to Opal store. They've got such a wide variety that I recently bought a whole heap of stuff just from all over the place. So you've got Spence, Idaho, Tanzanian, some White Cliff stuff, Peruvian, pink opal. They've got all of this stuff. So I just put together a cart of a whole heap of stuff. He didn't have any Spencer, Idaho at the time. Otherwise I probably would have bought that. I don't want to blow your ears out if there's anything loud. Yeah, I mean that looks cool. But then again, it is a triplet, and I would rather solids if I'm going to be collecting stones from all around the world. So that's not really for me. But I can always go to the American Opal tab, and then I've got endless things to look at. Some of it is quite expensive, but I do want to just play with all opal. So what else have we got? How much was that Bellumite that you used? White polish. Well, that's not a bad question actually. So if we go to Belluminites, so we could just do the pricing on this and go closed items. Alright, there's a fair few closed items. Now, the weight of the one that I was playing with the other day, I think was about 18 carats. So let's go from 15 to 20 carats. Narrow that down further. It was a bit of a multicolored piece. Alright, so we can have a look at this one, which is slightly larger than mine. The one that I was playing with the Blacklighter Secret Polish. I don't know how loud that's going to be for you guys, so I'll turn that down. Now that one has got, I mean, if the camera would focus, oh, this'll send you cross-eyed. There we go, there's a flash of it there that was in focus. Okay, so that's a nice piece. I did see that the back was a bit sandy, yeah, so it's also not a point. I mean, that's fairly comparable. I'd still say mine was overall a little bit nicer, but at the same time, I'm amazed that this one sold for 9,000 USD. That's, well, I guess that gives you a little bit of an idea. Of course, an auction could just go a little bit crazy. Maybe there was a bidding war or something. Was it an auction? It wasn't even an auction. Someone just straight up bought it for 9,000. Well, it is bright. That one is brighter than mine. So maybe it's not the best comparison. It's sometimes it's tough with things like Bellumnite because it's a little bit more uncommon. But this is basically the gist of what you do when you're trying to price something. Alright, and now we're just getting into really, yeah, really cheap kind of sandy pieces. I mean, this one looks much nicer than the one I've got. And the one that sold for such an incredible amount. Yeah, I think this one went for cheaper than it should have. 2000 USD, 19 carat, very similar to mine, but it's got a nicer shape. It's got the full point. It's a bit brighter. It's got a lot more red in it than mine. So I'd say, yeah, I'd use this one more as a gauge of what the one I was working on the other day was. Yeah, actually that's true. It might not have sold that one. It might have actually just been closed by the seller. Because I don't think it's actually specifies whether it sold or not. No, it's just closed. So that one probably didn't sell at $9,000. It probably just got closed. This one is a lot better priced. And if it hasn't sold, it went on sale. Surely it probably sold. That for 2,000, I can see that selling for 2,000. Like I could probably see mine selling for, I don't know. I don't really do a lot of selling, but I'd probably just chuck a price tag of like 1,000 USD on it and just see how it goes. But that does give you a good idea of how to value opal basically. It's a nice little trick to use. Got some Lambina from Dreamtime Opals on there. Nice. They do sell some good stuff. Alua, I wonder. Oh. So you can always just. Oh yeah. So they don't have any from that particular field, but that's all right. Hungarian opal. Hungarian opal. I wonder if they do. I don't think I've seen Hungarian opal on here. Because I know I've been looking as well. Yeah, no Hungarian at the moment, but you never know. Someone might have a batch just pop up somewhere out of nowhere. Hungarian opal is tough to get. Can you make some money buying rough and polishing yourself? You can. There's a lot of people that do it. I mean, you can make money just buying rough and selling it again. So there's definitely money out there to be made as long as you're doing it kind of honestly. Then I don't really have a problem with it. Like Julian doesn't mind any of that stuff that I buy off himself. He just goes out there, has great connections with the people in Kubpedi, a lot of miners, buys it, brings it back, and then divvies it up and sells it on. So it's really nice to go through a dealer like that just because he goes out there and he's got good connections. He'd get cheaper prices than what other people would going out there because he's such a reliable individual. Here's some doublets. I'm still not a fan of triplets. No one's convinced me that triplets are the way to go. And I'll show you why. Let's have a look at some opal triplets. See, does it really look that much like opal anymore at this point? I don't know. I don't know if it's just my eyes because I've seen so much opal, or whether everyone else sees this as well. But I don't know. Does this still appeal to people in the chat? It's better to gauge other people's opinions. Mine are my own, so I can't really judge them independently that well. But I can see the magnification differences across the thickest point and then towards the edges, and to me it looks good. It's nice. It's a nice piece, but I'm not a huge fan. At least it is fairly scratch resistant. I'll give them that. If you put a nice coating over the top, then it's pretty good. But triplets are an abomination. All right. All right. I wouldn't say abomination. I think they've got a place. I do like mosaic stuff. I do like mosaics. But that's more for the artistic value of slapping all these tiny little chips that you wouldn't have done anything else with and putting them together in one piece. I do like that. That's where I like triplets. But even when you look at the top gem triplets, yeah, I'm still not a huge fan. I mean, it does make nice earrings, and it does make them really noticeable. But yeah, in terms of how they look when you're an opal fan and you know a bit about opals, I don't know. They're just not for me. I don't think they're an abomination. I think they're awful. You lose the broad flash to the lensing effect. Yep. Actually, that's a good term to use. Lensing effect. I always just call it like a magnification effect. But yeah, it's the same optical difference. I wouldn't say they're awful because they're cheap. I mean, I'm glad they're cheap. Some people try to sell them for way more than they should. Actually, I don't even think they're awful. I just don't think it's really opal at that point, but I like this. This is artistic. This is good. I applaud the artistic side of this because that looks cool, and you can't get an opal naturally that looks like this. So that's where I like triplets. Mosaics are beautiful. Can't really see why doublets and triplets are so popular. They're just fake. I like doublets. I do like doublets. Sometimes material, I mean, I've got a whole bag of it somewhere around here, but sometimes material you just can't cut a solid from. And in that case, I like, especially with crystal when it's really transparent, chuck that on a nice bit of black obsidian or even just Boulder opal. I do like Boulder as a backing. And you've got a nice stone out of something that would have just been thrown in a fish tank, thrown in a jar and sold as one of those things for kids. But triplets, I'm not hugely sold on. Hey, from Arizona. It's a lot of Americans. It's what, nighttime over there now, so Spencer Opal is usually doublet or triplet. Yeah, because of the nature of the material. It is a bit of a pity. Every now and then you see a solid piece and it sells for a hell of a lot of dollars. Oh, what do people think about opal beads? I don't actually have a beaded necklace yet, but yeah, I know a lot of people hate them with a passion. Faceted opal. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of opal beads. I like these ones. These ones are cool. Tiny little yaourt nuts turned into beads. That's nice. See, because you couldn't do much more. As long as they didn't cut up some massive stones to make these tiny little beads, I'm quite okay with it. That looks cool. That would have taken some time too. They're not just put through a beading machine, I don't think. There's a lot of irregularity about it. Yeah, I like those ones. Phil's with me. I'm doing a mosaic clock face. Oh, that's nice. Triplets don't last, that's true. As soon as someone accidentally leaves it on while they're doing the dishes or something, it starts falling apart pretty quick. What is it meant to be like on Opal Auctions? I don't think I've actually looked that much. Yeah, there's some nice stones. What about in terms of rough? Sometimes we'll go for specimens. Oh, we should have a look at some carvings. Alright, so there's not a lot of nice Minterby specimens / rough. Can we just type in carving? Yeah, there'll be a lot of that kind of carving. But I was more interested in some freeform shapes. Though I do want to play around with doing a few of these kind of things. God, skulls are popular. Is that a frog? Rabbit. What is it now? Chinese Year of the Ox? Something like that. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, that is a sick carving. I like that. Oh, double-sided. I thought it was just one-sided. That's nice. See, don't throw out your potch or your potch with colour. This would have just been a piece of I mean, pretty low grade stuff, and look what they've done out of it. That's cool. And it's only 30 bucks. That's the kind of stuff that I just buy because I like it. Yeah, the value of Minterby is going up, and it's a lot tougher to get now. Did I miss the rough? No, we're always looking at rough. Always looking at rough. Just had to venture. You can get very sidetracked on this. Ethiopian rough. That photo can't be right, can it? So this is where you start looking at things like this and the contrast between black and white, and the fact that this finger is so white and overexposed. You know that this, like, you've just got to knock it down a few notches in your mind, because that is bright as hell. And when you get it in your hand, unless you make your hand look like this with a camera, this piece isn't going to look like this. And these are just I mean, I don't think it's always deceitful. I think it's just people trying to make they tunnel in and they try to make this look as good as possible, but they start forgetting that what they're actually doing is making it not look realistic. And this is starting to get that way. Oh, it's 400 carats. It's a big, what is this? The underside of it. You can see how high the water content is in that crystal. That's why it's so fragile. So this one's a non-hydrophane as well. That's interesting. We'll ship in wet condition with normal water. See, I've had a lot of people comment on videos and stuff saying that non-hydrophane opal, if you put it in water, it's actually going to damage the stone, which I don't think is right. If that would have to indicate a treatment and that it is still hydrophane. Please do not complain about crack after purchase, as we already mentioned in the material, and probably because it's going to crack further. But yeah, nah, I'm not. People try to make their opal look as good as possible, but you've just got to judge it and knock it down. Knock it down. I should try to sell my carvings on Opal Auctions. I haven't made an Opal Auctions account for selling or anything. I don't know what the process is, but I've heard that it's quite detailed. Actually, no, not just rings. Let's go to Opal Jewelry. Let's have a look at some really high-end jewelry, just for the idea of silversmithing and setting. I mean, look at that. These are the settings that I like, when it's just the opal doing most of the talking. It's pretty basic. A few companion stones, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd get rid of those, but apart from that, that's a really nice. I mean, the bezel setting actually looks like it's coming away from the opal a little bit there, so it can probably be tidied up a little bit, but that's a really nice stone in a fairly nice setting. I like that. Bit of white gold. I don't know, does anyone have anything? How do you sell opal? Facebook? I just don't sell opal. I'm not a fan of selling anything. I'm pushing myself to sell equipment, cutting equipment, just because I know it's so hard to get, and I'm just doing that so that you guys can actually get a hold of some of the stuff that I use. But in terms of actually selling opal, I leave that up to the miners and the other people selling and buying from those miners. I'm just not, I don't know. I just hate selling. I hate selling stuff. Have to check out the guy on eBay. I'll probably check out eBay and Facebook in more regular live streams, because I mean, I almost forgot how to set up this live stream. It's been so long since I've actually done a live stream. But yeah, How long have we actually been going for? I was only going to do a quick couple minutes. I think it's already been half an hour. You can lose time really quickly just going through looking at rough. So I would like a bit more Peruvian opal because I've only got the Peruvian pink opal, which I don't think I've done a video on yet, or maybe I have. But say I like some of this stuff as well. I've got some Tanzanian opal and stuff to do videos on. Those videos I kind of just sit on for ages because I'd rather carving, and you guys seem to enjoy carving ones more than anything else, so I like to do that. We're already starting to work on some of those Lightning Ridge ones. They're in the works. The next video should actually be one of them finishing carving. I don't know where it is, but if I could find it. Oh yeah, here it is. I mean, you won't see anything really, but actually I won't say anything because the streams are so delayed. So who knows what that's going to look like. But I have started on those, so they're coming along nicely. How many people did we have? Oh, we got up to 29 viewers at one point. Pretty cool. But yeah, I guess if there's anything else people want me to check out quickly. Otherwise, I guess we'll call it quits. I'd say opal prices in general have been going up quite a lot lately. So if anyone sat on a lot of opal and just hoarded it for 10 years, you can make some money selling it at the moment because opal prices across the board are going up. Mintaby's going up probably faster than anything else. Lightning Ridge actually is going up quite a lot as well. Especially for rough. Rough opal is kind of speeding up in price. Unless you know the right people, it can get quite expensive. Damn, that's a nice stone. Facebook seems to sell quickest. Yeah, I think it's got the most people. I like Facebook just because you can connect with miners, the rare ones that are on there. You can connect with sellers that already have the in-person contacts. It's just nice. It's easier to communicate through Facebook and through Facebook groups and pages rather than just asking a question to the sellers on things like Opal Auctions. Damn, I really like this stone. 0 bids. 0 bids. That could be worth bidding on. That's fairly expensive for what it is. Though they are nice. Yeah, it's a nice pair of earrings. That's fair. Those bright roughs command a premium. They do. They do. And I mean, it's all opal is a gamble when you're buying it rough. But some of those nice ones with clear defined bars and stuff, they are, yeah, you can ask a lot of money and they will still sell. We'll have one last look at old 53 Frogs. God, he puts up a lot of stuff. He's always turning it over. Let's have a look at his big ticket items. Where are the big ticket items? Dear Lord, how big is that? Oh, that one could be a good carver. 20 carats. Whew. Top quality Cuba Petey. That'll cut up well. Yeah, good old Riley. You would have seen him pop up on the channel quite a bit. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot together. He's probably one of the better guys to talk to. We've talked more than any other YouTuber that I've tried to get in touch with and collaborate with. We'll probably do some things in the future, so it'll be good. Is that a stone from Isaac? I don't know what that is. Paul, I have plenty of rough for sale and send you some to play with. I'm always happy to play with whatever gets sent my way. I got caught out on there, it's US dollars. Yeah, I always say that when I do a video on Opal Auctions, because it's US dollars and you've got to add on the 10% tax as well, which is also in US dollars. So what kind of opal do you see having the greatest value with the current market? I mean, it has to be the old black opal. The black opal is the most, it's got the strongest foundation in pricing. It's got the most popularity, I believe. A lot of that's thanks to Black Opal's Direct. I mean, he's pushed it out there to a massive audience and everyone's about the Black Opal. And it does look really good. Even lower quality Black Opal can beat some of the mid-grade kind of Cooper Pedy stuff. But yeah, I think for the most consistency in valuing, Black Opal's the most consistent. Boulder Opal is probably the least consistent, and you can get pieces that people are selling for ridiculous amounts, but also stuff that people are undercutting themselves massively and selling it for way too low. But yeah, I think that's the best way I can answer that question. Having the greatest value, I mean, you can get a museum quality fossilized opal that's probably the greatest value, but in terms of consistency, I'd have to say the black opal's already on top, and probably will be forever because it does look the best. But you can also get black opal from Cooper Pedy or Andamuka. There might even be some here. Because black just refers to the base body tone of the stone, of the color, and you can actually get black Cooper Pedy. Oh, that's cool. Forget you saw that. I might actually buy that. Unless someone already has. Oh, there's actually a few little snails. Alright, so there's not a lot of black Cooper Pedy at the moment, but you can get it. It is out there, and it's incredibly rare, and it will sell for as much as Lightning Ridge Black Opal. I've seen some Cooper Pedy Black Opal being sold as Lightning Ridge Black. But yeah. Thanks, good answer. Justin has white too, he does. Lightning Ridge, it's all about that base, that body tone there. So Lightning Ridge has white opal, it has crystal. Basically every field has white, black, crystal kind of thing. But yeah, I think black, like white crystal, people value it very, very differently. One person will say $10 a carat, the next person will say $100 a carat on the same stone. It's, yeah, black opal, I think people are the most consistent about valuing. Oh, what I really want to get for the channel is some pineapple fossil. The old opal pineapples, but you start getting an intact one and look at that price. Oh. Oh. You can buy a car for that. I do love the snails. It's, I don't know, it's something about that shape that's just... There's actually a lot of good ones on here at the moment. That's incredible. Now that's a snail. With colour. And you can see here the massive price jump between something with fairly minor patches of colour to something that's actually got some colour. It's quite amazing. Put that pineapple on your pizza. I don't know about that, but if I had one, I'd put it on a pizza. I'd display it anywhere I could. Oh, see, that one's pretty good in terms of pricing and in terms of color. I mean, yeah, the shape's a little bit rough, but I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty cool. All right, I think once I turn off the live stream, I might be snail shopping, as you do. But yeah, if people don't have any other questions or things they specifically want me to check out on Opal Auctions, I think I've given it a fairly good overview. There's, yeah, I mean, you can go for the real low, no reserve ones. When I first got on here, I used to just bid on anything that didn't have any bids. So, yeah, my account kept getting locked, but you've got to... Oh, that's the other thing. If you're just starting out with Opal Auctions, there's a lot of restrictions. Like, the number of bids you can put on is only like 3 for open ones, so make sure you bid on the ones that are closing the soonest first. All that kind of stuff. You'll see a lot of that, but I got tripped up, and I made a video on it a while back on Opal Auctions in particular, because there's a couple things, and I stitched myself up by bidding on like a 15-day to go auction, and I couldn't bid on anything else until that one was finished, so it sucked. It sucked. But yeah, I don't know where the stream is up to. Let's just do a quick scroll to the top and wait for it to catch up. Oh wow, you guys are way behind. Way behind. You should go to Black Opal Direct and look there before you go. I'll do another video on Black Opal Direct's site. I'll check out a lot of, like, I'll check out eBay, Black Opal Direct, oh, what's Gary's one? Cut Opal, I believe. We can have a look at Etsy. Etsy, I find that one entertaining because there's just so much fake opal on there that's just, ugh. Genuine bellow opal, I think. There's a lot of that. Oh, mobile gaming. So you're the person with the beautiful pipes and sandstone. Show retail price, not just wholesale. Yeah, I guess Opal Auctions does tend to go... no, Opal Auctions does cover retail pricing as well. I mean, you just have to go sort from high to low and you can go beyond retail pricing. So that is an absolutely stunning stone. So you won't even find that in a retail shop. They don't stock that kind of quality. It's dangerous to look at these expensive ones. You can get caught up doing it for hours. Tim, right. Yeah, I mean, pipe opal, especially when it's Boulder stuff, is really hard to value. Because say a lot of the time the pipe opal does just get dissected and cut out like that. But when you've kept them whole and intact, yeah, it's always very tough to get a nice pricing. So here's some that they managed to get out intact. Yours is a lot nicer than that. You've got some great pieces of pipe opal. Oh, somehow I ended up on page 42. Yeah, see, I mean, this is how most of that pipe opal ends up getting processed and sold. So you just see the end of the pipe, whereas you've uncovered quite a nice piece. I see this a lot, so little buttons with the pipe in the middle of it, or this where they just chop it up. So yeah, can't help you too much on that one. It's just a tricky area of valuing opal. I really don't want to slice. Yeah, I wouldn't want to slice it either. Get one of the expensive ones. That red Bellamite looks cooked. Finally back to live sessions. Yeah, I'll try to do it more often. I did get sweaty palms and fairly nervous for live sessions. You just don't know what could go wrong, but it is fun seeing you guys on here and having a bit of a chat. Show retail price, not just wholesale, and then it continues, but Justin pretty much sets the price. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he can ask whatever he wants. We can all do that. If it's your opal, you can put a price tag on it and just ignore all the haters, which you will get many of on places like Facebook. But yeah, no, that was fun. Opal Auctions is still got incredible range. The pricing is definitely going up on almost everything. But there's still a lot of great stones out there. If you can sift through the thousands of items that actually get put up. I'm probably going to get some more Ethiopian opal rough from Opal Auctions as well. I say I've liked the idea of carving a shell, but I'd rather just have a shell and make it look nice. But yeah, I will try to do some more Ethiopian rough and some Indonesian rough, because I think the stuff that I've got is pretty low end and fairly subpar. Not a lot of fun, but it was really cheap, so whatever. I mean, we got a fair few people on the live stream today, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll definitely make sure to try to get on a little bit more often. Might be able to do it once a month, maybe once a fortnight, who knows. Just to hang out. Just to hang out, see what people are thinking. It helps me gauge the interest of topics and stuff as well. Some people have asked some really good questions, and they're probably pretty good to follow up with a actual video addressing them, so I'll do that. And yeah, if you've ever got any other things, just make sure you send me a message or whatever and let me know, and I can get on to covering things that you guys want to see. But yeah, on that note, I guess we'll call it quits. It's almost been an hour, and I was planning on this being about 15 minutes, so alright. We'll call it quits here. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe in... I'll put up a poll or something of the next site to check out. I'll just put up some options. I think, what was it? YouTube polling only lets me do 5 options or something, but it's alright. We'll just think of 5 sites that are the most popular, and yeah, you guys can have a vote. But I'll see you guys next time. And you'll hear this outro in about 10 minutes time, looking at the delay in the live stream. So catch you around, and yeah, just keep in touch. If you've got any pictures and stuff, just send them through to my email address or my Facebook. It's all in the descriptions of all my videos. So yeah, be sure to hit me up and I'll help you with whatever you want. So see you around, guys.